Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today on this blustery Saturday afternoon here. But we have a fast track, firm turf course. Speed is always fast. Happy to be joined with Brian Nato. I'm Samantha Perry to take you through this Saturday afternoon. Ron Nicoletti has just been everywhere at once. He got to sit down with not one but almost 17 Hall of Fame jockeys yesterday. We've got the Jockeys and Jeans happening right now, and Ron is actually the master of ceremonies for that today. So if you're out here, make sure to heckle him for us.
There you go. Yeah, it was a huge day yesterday with all those jockeys signing memorabilia free in the breezeway, which is pretty cool. And then the big day today here, you can see it, Jockeys and Jeans. It's going on all throughout the day. As Samantha said, 17 Hall of Fame jockeys were bopping around signing yesterday. Just literally some legends of the sport. Pat Day, Jerry Bailey were here.
Yeah.
Steve Coffin, a lot of others, Jean Cruguet. So pretty cool, and that's going on today. So Ronnie will be back with us in this space at least tomorrow. But he's got updated tickets and all that. And he's got a rainbow too.
He does, and we'll see that. It kicks off in race number 6, of course, with a 11 race card, $150,000 in that estimated pool. You always take the over, but we've got a great card today, phenomenal card, and I'm excited to see how you saw it. We haven't talked about it much, but let's take a look at your early pick 5.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it now. There were some underneath scratches for me. Luckily, I didn't lose any top picks, so
Good.
I think that's very good. In race number 1 here, well, we'll get to it in a second. I'm going 4 deep. In race number 2, 4 deep there as well with the 1. That's my long shot, Canny Land for Mike Lerman. I don't know what's going to happen with her. She was 71-1 in her last race, and I thought she ran very well. In race number 3, the top pick is the 7, and that is Sophia Storm off the claim for the Walensky's, and then back-to-back singles for me. My best bet of the day is in race number 4, the Cox Verster Vanderbilt, and in race number 5 at what should be a very short price in the first of the 2 Florida bred stakes today. I've got Great Venezuela on top on what is a $24 early pick 5 ticket, excuse me.
I like it a lot. It's a competitive sequence, and excited to see what you did here in the first race as we kick it off. 7.5 furlongs on that firm turf course. It's a maiden $25,000 level. These are for 4-year-olds and upward. Not too many scratches, at least important ones, but the 4 West Side Tide maybe was kind of one of the most important ones, I feel like, on the card. He is out. Rag Special will be ridden by Joe Treos. The 13 is a scratch. The 14 last run will draw in.
Yeah, so there's the good thing about the scratch, which is West Side Tide, the morning line favorite. Didn't take any speed out of this race, and that's why I wanted to talk, because there is a lot, I think at least, a lot of speed in this race. You have sprint speed with the 9, Reverend Moon stretching out. Got Sunny is certainly going in some way, shape, or form with Sayas and for Danny Gargan. So maybe we both saw it similar. Eton got the tightener out of the way last time. One of the very few, if not only, horse to come from Indiana on the turf with, and that ran well here. This horse didn't fire at all at Indiana. There's been several horses coming down with big Indiana turf form that haven't run at all here. He did. Now we're drawn inside. We can save ground. Rails are at 38 feet, and I think there's plenty, at least on paper, there's some hitting up front in here.
Absolutely. To be honest, he should have won last time.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't be a maiden no longer, in my opinion. It was a really troubled trip. You'd have to watch the whole replay to really understand, but it's very early in the betting. He probably won't get anywhere near 7-1. This is my best bet.
Oh,
today.
is it? Okay, yeah, I can't possibly imagine, and I didn't even use the 7 at all. I mean, maybe he auto defaults into the favorite.
Yeah.
I just want to see a little more. He was walking the dog last time and just
couldn't see it out.
What
What about the 10 Hurricane Express?
Well, here's the thing with the scratches. It helps him just a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he's another flow kind of horse to me. Now, Jeff Engler's going to take over for Chad Brown. We don't know what we're going to get. This was a homebred for Peter Brandt, and now obviously a private purchase into a little bit of a different barn, but he's got big New York form. Mm-hmm. They put him in for a quarter, so it's not like they're trying to do something that he's not supposed to do, because he was running well in races up there. It's not part of the program for Chad and Peter Brandt, so So he's got to be a big player to me in here.
Yeah, I think so. And it's a big tote board race, so take note of that as we inch closer towards post time. Now, race number 2, it's a claiming $8,000. Non-winners of 2, lifetime, mile and a 16th on the Tapeta, and it's a clean field of 8, and as you alluded to with Candyland. Your early pick 4, you'll tweet that out. I'll speak for you there. Candyland on top.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like anybody in this race, Samantha. They're all very, very tough to trust, whoever you want to come up with. And Bellwether, I think, will be a pretty stiff favorite. I don't want a short number on her at all. Oh, by the way, she's 0 for 3 on Tapeta. Candyland is one of those kinds of horses. Maybe the Tapeta helped her. Maybe the Tapeta lumped them all together last time. She was 5th in what was her first start off a little freshening, her first start on Tapeta, and her first start for Mike Lerman, and at 71 to 1. I thought she ran pretty okay. She beat several horses. She was only 3 1/4 lengths behind, and I mentioned it at the start. I don't know if they're going to bet her or not. Sometimes the public looks at a huge number like that and they don't come back to her. I'm gonna view it as at face value and think it was a pretty good run, and we can try to get her home here at what should be some kind of price.
Yeah, absolutely, because this is a race where nobody really looks that flattering when you take a real close look at it. That's why I went with Cool Tricks, just because I'm going to just excuse the first time facing winners last time out. The win was good, and when you get Luis Saez, you're going to have some aggressiveness put in this horse.
And she, to be fair to her, she didn't run bad. She had a bad post last time. She split the field. She was beaten on just a shade over 5 lengths in what she said, the first start against winners. And, she's one of the ones in here that are just probably second tier behind the favorites.
Yep. It's very, very wide open.
Yeah, for sure. Fugiata was, closing last time. She'll probably be closer today, but neither of the at least morning line favorites. I don't think you have to land their way.
No, not at all. Now, race number 3, it's on the fast main track. It is a state-bred fillies, allowance optional claimers. It's a very competitive race as well. We have a field of 7 here, and the 7, wow, I don't have the 7 anywhere in my top, not in my top 4 at least.
She was behind a few of these gals last time. I get it, but that was off a little bit of a layoff. The Walensky's are going to dip in. I look at that drill on January 4th. I mean, they do work the horses
You're right,
fast in the morning, but that seems a little above and beyond. They don't claim a lot of horses, but they do a good job, I think, of Ruthless Rule, right?
Ruthless Rule,
Got her rolling pretty good. I love the post here, and there's a lot of speed in here between Alice Queen, Timely Reward, even Unrelentless. I think there's going to be some speed and pace to run into up front, and I like this trip more for her than some of these others.
It's this race to me, the early pick 5 is tough. Your early pick 5 duties were really hard. I put the 4 on top, Emirates Affair, only because it's a new face in this field here. The Parks races, I don't really, whatever happens at Parks, it can stay there as far as I'm concerned. But there is a race at Gulfstream, at least it was on the Tapeta, so she's got her feet under her here. And she's going to run against state breds on the dirt for the first time.
Yeah, and this is a barn. The Moscow barn already has a win at the meet.
Claiming a couple too.
Yep. If you're not familiar with this barn, does a pretty good job in the Mid-Atlantic Parks and bopping around kind of up that way. So I like what you're thinking. I don't know if it's her or not.
I don't know.
You're going to get a price, and this is the fresh new face kind of race. I don't have a fresh new face, but at least I have a horse doing something different because, Alice Queen's going to have to run hard every step of the way from the rail. Star of Saturn, you can never trust her. No. You don't know what you're going to get. And Timely Reward is really, I know she laughed at a 10-2 last time. She's biting off a lot here.
Yeah, she is. That if you believe in the Brown-Eyed Beauty race or not, that kind of will go to show you if you are going to play Star of Saturn or Alice Queen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's tricky post down there too.
It absolutely is, but you want to be fit across this, and the speed runs right through Timely Reward. I think for sure.
Yeah, she's good. They're going to be going. Like I said, Alice Queen's going to have to go from down there too, and she's the horse to beat. I think, or the favorite. But it's a good spot to look elsewhere.
It is indeed. Now we have 2 incredible maiden special weights on the card today. They're races 4 and 7. This 4th race here, it's 6 furlongs. These are for 3-year-olds here. We scratched the 2 consolidated and the 4 Gualilo, and it's still a packed field. There was so much and nothing at the same time with this race.
Very well said.
Yeah, but the 6 Vanderbilt for you, I don't know.
This is my best bet of the day.
Okay.
I know.
Did you find out anything?
No,
Okay.
not at all. You can't. We know not a lot of works on any of these horses. It's frustrating, but the pedigree here is huge. Okay, we're
Yes.
buy into mischief out of the multiple Grade 1 winner American Gal, the Test and the Humana Distaff. She won her debut. Her other foal was no good. I get that, but I think everything Brad Cox has sent out has been super live. I think
Agreed.
this horse was working with Tappan Street, who is really, really good.
Very good.
In his maiden win. I also feel pretty strongly that at least on January 11th at 6 furlongs, he's going to like it and be ready to go a lot more than some of these other horses today at 6 furlongs on January 11th.
Yeah, I agree. And the pace and track is very heavy and deep. So these horses are fit coming from there. It makes a big difference coming into that. And watch the tote board here, because that will tell you a lot about the Brad Cox runners, more than maybe we can. Now, you have the 7 underneath skate away. This was a horse that sold for $400,000 at the Fasig-Tipton May sale and worked 10-1. Now, Demerick sold this horse, and I'm not a huge fan of just anything that goes through the sale with them. I wanted to show the work, though, Brian, on the 22nd of November, so a while ago. And because I thought that the way that this horse was, now this is, she's in the, is in the inside here. This is a very early on work, and I'm not saying that Caspian Win is anything, but that's a Vacoma, so that makes, those are runners. Not a very big horse compared to the Vacoma on the outside, but the exercise rider never moved his hands on this horse, and I wanted to show how just kind of immature I think that this horse was from November 22nd and now today on January 11th. I mean, this horse kept going.
Yeah,
and this is a very early work. So now since then, I don't know, but
yeah, we haven't seen any since. I just thought it's all turf in this pedigree. The dam was turf. Took her 5 starts to break her maiden. The other horse that hit the track was no good at all. Just one start, but still, we'll see. They paid $400 for this Good Magic, and they're all runners.
They are.
We'll see what we get today.
White Whale. Race experience?
Race experience, Lasix, and a cutback. It couldn't quite see the mile out. The race 2 back at Churchill behind a horse that was good and then good again, I thought was a pretty good effort, and you're right, race experience.
Really quickly, you found a Cox stat that I want to show here, and I'll let you talk about it just for kind of circling back to
there's, this is not going to surprise anybody. It's, but we don't see a lot of Brad Cox runners here, so this is just kind of just to show everybody that this is a pretty sharp barn. He's 24%. The ROI is almost at a positive, which is somewhat remarkable. This is the last 2 years as well.
Good.
You're just going to totally fade this horse? You didn't have him
he's like, if I'm playing the early pick 5, this is my 5th pick.
Okay.
I would be spreading completely because you're going into this race blind because Cocktail and Kringle, this horse was working with Bourbon Resolve on the 1st of January, and that's a allowance winner last time out at Churchill Downs, and this horse was working good with him. He held his own. He got a little tired at the end, but they've gelded him, and he's got Lasix. And oh, hey, by the way, Brian Hernandez Jr. is here.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks winning jockey today. So, and layabout, I have no idea, but it's Brian Lynch, and he's dangerous.
Yeah, it's, check the tote board.
It's so tough.
My horse is supposed to be a pretty strong favorite in here, but you got 2 Pletchers. We didn't even talk about the 8 River Thames.
Yeah.
Brian's horses, they're either better, they're not. He doesn't ever usually win. Mott's got a John Ford homebred for Peachtree.
Yep.
Check him out. She'll be able to get a look at him as well.
Yep. We'll hopefully gonna guide you in the right direction now. Race number 5. It is the Sunshine Filly and Mare Turf. It is a mile on the grass course, obviously for state breds. It is the Sunshine Fillies and Mare's Turf. And the 5 Parallel is out, but what remains is a 7-horse field. And it kicks off the Tropical Turf pick 3.
Yeah.
We'll take a quick look at my ticket here. And I'm spreading in this race here, race number 9. I'm singling Dream On. And in the finale, just 3 deep for me, but I like Nantasket Beach a lot. That's who I have on top. He scratched a couple weeks ago. I'm glad he's back here. So that's my top pick there. It's a $45 ticket for me, a $3 minimum, low 15% takeout. Rails are at 38 feet. I do want to mention that all day today. Tricky outside posts for some of them, I think. And who should you go with on top here?
Yeah, I wasn't looking to beat the favorite.
Okay.
I mean, Great Venezuela's, I think she's just really, really good.
Yep.
I don't really, you could make a case that her two-turn race, I know she's all sprint, but her two-turn race was like really
Phenomenal.
good behind Ozara, who was good back then. Actually just won, I told you, won her comeback at Tampa the other
that's
day.
right.
There are some okay horses in here. I don't think Great Venezuela's okay. I think she's very good, and it wouldn't shock me at all if she's 3 to 5.
We'll look
in
at
this
her
race.
replay here because this was a big effort. It was on the grass. This was back in October, and that's so green.
I didn't like her at all in this race.
No,
either.
I didn't. We liked Tiffany Gold, who we'll see later.
Yeah, later,
Who's going to try 2 turns. But I think they've spotted her very well. This Victor Barboza barn right now is so dangerous, and we just can't stress that enough for people who are just joining us. He's such a staple throughout the spring and the summer here, and this barn did not come to play for the championship meet.
Yeah, and last year struggled a little bit. I think he's already got more wins right now than he did all the entirety of the championship meet last year, and he's got a real good chance to add a stakes win to that resume so far as well, because she is a huge favorite in here.
Love Mommy Love, 2 wins in a row now, which I think is good. She's kind of the now horse, but obviously the waters get much deeper here.
Yeah.
If anything, she's back in with State Breds.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing where I'm talking about I think Great Venezuela is really good. This horse won for a quarter 2 starts back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she's progressed for Safi. He's done a very good job with her, and she's a legitimate 7-2 shot in this race, but that's kind of circles back around to the point I was making with Great Venezuela and why she's just to me at least, a massive favorite in here.
My Sunny Valentine, over 7 on the grass, but has run really well across our turf course. You have to dig. It was back in March with the other connections, but still.
Yeah, I just wanted to put a price underneath because she's as fast as anybody that's not the favorite on paper.
4 wins in a row.
4 wins in a row. As you said, she's run well on this turf course in the past. Billy Therinos looked like he made a pretty crafty claim here. He had a big year at Woodbine. He will have a big winter here at Gulfstream as well. And just maybe she's a newcomer that can spice things up a little bit for you underneath.
Yeah, getting spicy in the Sunshine Philly and Mare Turf. That's 5 of them. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Ron Nicoletti's Rainbow Six ticket in the latter half of the card that gets very good, so don't go away.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access past performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access past performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau and Samantha Perry with you on this fantastic Saturday afternoon of racing. We've got 11 races on the card. We've got the jockeys and jeans going on with the PDJF upstairs in the Flamingo room. You'll see these Hall of Fame riders bopping around all day. Just a great day through and through, and that is where Ron Nicoletti is. He is the master of ceremonies upstairs. So he was nice enough to leave us a Rainbow Six ticket, and I'll let you take us through it.
Yeah, $150,000 in the estimated jackpot today. Ronnie's got the 4320. You can see his single is in race number 7. That's on the outside with the 9 Camp Hale, and Samantha already kind of previewed this a little bit. Brian Hernandez Jr. in town riding here for Ian Wilkes on a horse that looks like a really nice prospect for this barn that has already been off to a very good start at the meet. And then he's 2 and 3 and 4 deep. The finale is I think Samantha is on the right horse. Nantasket Beach, your 5-2 morning line favorite, and he's supposed to. He's the most likely winner in there. But boy, you could have some fun with this race as well. And Ronnie is going to go 4 deep in there. So there's a 43.20 on an estimated $150,000 Rainbow Six. It'll grow very quickly.
Oh, absolutely. It always does around here, and that kicks off at 2:49 in the p.m. Now,
Ish.
Yes. Thank you for that. This is 3-year-olds going 1 mile and a 16th on the Tapeta. These are allowance optional claimers here. We've got a full field of 7. A lot of horses facing winners for the first time. And the number 4 for you, Dual Income on top.
Yeah, just taking a little bit of a shot here.
Yeah,
Horse
why not?
got to turf and got back to 2 turns last time and ran so well for Joe Orsino, who's had a very, very good run of it so far.
Absolutely.
At the championship meet. Maybe we get a little bit of a flow help here, and that Bold and Breezy is not going to get loose like he did last time.
Yeah.
And I would think, at least, and this is DJ, and I know they bet these horses like crazy, but I would think this horse is going to be the 3rd choice in this race, and I think that's enough value at hopefully 7-2-ish that we'll take a shot with this one here.
I think that's fair. This is the 5th horse I would use here, and coming off of a nice little $35,000 maiden win. The 6, Bold and Breezy, you mentioned. We'll pull up the replay because Criollo, Legal Maneuver, and Bold and Breezy all tangled together last time here. And I thought what was significant about this race is Bold and Breezy did a lot of the hard work here, and I think Criollo just tripped out. And I do know that was the 2nd win in a row now for Criollo, so I want to give credit where credit's due. But main point of this replay, you don't want Legal Maneuver.
No, for sure. He was well behind
Yeah.
him. I agree. Bold and Breezy was favored in the race last time. That's why I made him favorite, even though he didn't win the race. He was between the 1 and the 2 path the entire trip around, especially when he got pushed back down inside during the stretch. That's not good. Today he's drawn better towards the outside. The race clearly goes through these 2 horses, and they're the 2 most likely winners.
I'm glad you put the 3 in there, just at least underneath, because this horse got in some trouble and still ran quite impressively.
He ran very well last time. Now, it was a painfully slow race,
Yeah.
but we don't get into figures too much on the Tapeta because anything kind of can change and anything can go. It was also his debut. He, like all these, is going to get Lasix, and it is darn tough to win a 2-turn race on Tapeta in your debut, and Ronnie Spatz had him ready to roll.
He did, yep.
And now he's not in for a tag. So he's a playable horse at what should be a very square number in here.
Yeah, I think so too. This is a very this is a spread race. There's a couple you could lop off, but I think as far as the Rainbow Six is concerned,
Sure.
it's one that you kind of want to maybe go a little bit deeper in. Now, race number 7, it is the start of the late pick 5, and thank goodness I can see these before punching the ticket. But without looking at them, here is my late pick 5 ticket, and it's a $54 play. I might be able to move and shake race 7, but we'll get to that whenever that comes a little after 3. Race number 8, I do have the 3 on top. That's Worldly Beauty. Race number 9, there's the single of the 6. Race 10, I do have the 9 on top, and that is Lightning Tones. That's my long shot. I don't know about the price now with a few scratches in that race. It might not be a long shot. But I also have Secret Chat and Awesome Train because I like the way these 2 are going right now. I know Secret Chat will be a really short price, but here nor there. Race 11, Nantasket Beach, as I said, is my anchor at the end. But Alley Oop Johnny is a cool horse, and I think Marty Drexler barn is going good right now. So that's my $54 play, Brian. And in this 7th race, this is the longer version of the 4th race here. 3-year-old maidens, 1 mile on the main track. The 4 Instago is out, and the 8 Gosger is out. Gosger was a really big player here. And as I mentioned earlier, we have Brian Hernandez Jr. Coming to ride the number 9, Camp Hale. He's on the other Ian Wilkes horse, but this was the one he was really waiting for. And look who he was running against.
Yeah, and if they don't bet the 2, I'm not sure they're going to bet the 1, but if they don't bet the Cox first or the 2, you're looking at a horse now that will be, well, there's a huge scratch, as you said. Odds on, potentially. He's run well, guns loaded.
Well, let's watch the replay because as you're talking about it, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but let's. You'll see here, guns loaded won the race, but this horse Sorry,
this
guys.
is,
No, this is Racing Driver.
Racing driver. Okay, we'll talk about him.
Well, should we?
Okay, we'll go back to him.
Okay. We'll get back to
Yeah.
Racing Driver, but Camp Hale, the Churchill race, that just proved to be such a big race. Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, so here's Guns Loaded. He comes back to win the Mucho Macho
Yep.
Man, and he's still trying to figure out what the heck he's doing.
He is.
Camp Hale ran really, really well. He has now he's stacked 2 very fast races together. And I'm not going to pretend I know what's going on at, I guess Brian would be at Fairgrounds or Oaklawn, but he wants to be here to ride what is a very, very good prospect for Ian Wilkes and the Whittams, the thoroughbreds who, Camp Larned fame, Breeders' Cup Classic winner. They bred this horse.
Yeah.
And this is a serious horse today, and this is probably a serious horse going forward too.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be fun to see what happens with him. On the January work was a really good breeze too. So perfect post position. Can't Stop Munnings ran behind Patch Adams last time, so that's a good sign.
I guess if you're, not in the loop, Patch Adams is, rumored to be the greatest horse in the world.
We've got this replay
we've
too.
got this
and
too.
Shogun's part of the party as well here.
And Patch Adams, I think at about 70 cents on the dollar, was a really ugly kind of third in his debut. He did put it together here, and you're going to see him absolutely run off the screen. This is another Cox runner, Patch Adams, right?
Yep.
But you're right. Can't Stop Munnings, I thought, ran on pretty well here. He's going to add Lasix, and I think the mile could be to his liking too.
It's hard to debut going this 1 turn, 1 mile distance, and Shogun kind of stopped pretty bad there in the lane and was on the left lead. So just take note of that whenever you're watching that. Now you've got to be fit for races like
which is why I think the 2 might be a little bit of a fade today.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm not a huge fan of the Authentics so far. Racing Driver, we'll show the work now. I've got him in the mix because this is a patient barn. This is a Kentucky Derby winning barn. Now, this horse, Commendatore, first time out, looked like a real thing. Didn't do too good, but watch Racing Driver here because the first half of this work was nothing really to write home about, but this horse just kept on going. And that's impressive. It's what you want to see with these that's what you want to see in a breeze. It's what you want to see in a 1-turn mile race too. Yeah,
and he didn't run very well, Commendatore, in his next start. I liked him a lot. I was very disappointed, but my point is that I think he's a pretty solid horse. That was impressive.
Yeah, it was, and I think that's something to kind of some food for thought going into that one. Now, race number 8, it's the late pick 4. Brian has got the ticket, a mile and a 16th, claiming $10,000 level. Take it away.
Yeah, so the big one here now, the 14 Cabernet scratches into this race. That's huge. I think he was the morning line favorite, actually. From now, he's in the race. Make sure you take note of that. In race 9, I've got the 6 on top, Dream On. Not looking to beat Dream On today. Race number 10. This is an interest. This is a little bit of a reach, but I've got the 7 Shack Diesel on top with I like Joel Rosario getting aboard here. A strong finishing rider. Maybe we got this horse home at two turns, which is a complete unknown. In race 11, all the way to the outside on a pop here. Rough draft let's take a deep breath and see if he can wire the field.
I like it. This race here specifically is a tough one. Egan will ride the number 4, Go Big Green. The 12, Smart Spending is out. 13, Beach Nut Trophy is out. 14, Cabernet draws in, as my partner mentioned. The number 7, Clouds of White. New face.
That's all it is. Yep, Robbie Falcone has done well in the past on Tapeta here at Gulfstream Park. She said it perfectly. New face, freshened, fits snugly with this kind of group on paper.
Yeah, definitely. The 3, to me, I get the Oscar Gonzalez barn hadn't been going as well, kind of starting to turn back around, so maybe this horse can take a piece.
No, I agree, and it's going to be a price as well, and I think it's a good race, even though the favorites are going to be pretty defined in here. It's a good race to look around.
Race number 10, it's a mile and a 16th, or 9, pardon me, is a mile and a 16th on the grass course. Rails are at 38 feet. You've got a little bit further run into the turn for that outside post. The 4, Ready for Peace, is out. It's a field of 8. The 6, Dream On. We'll look at the replay of this horse here because this was in Del Mar at the Breeders' Cup.
Yeah, don't be surprised if Dream On is 2-5 in here,
No.
especially when the second choice scratched out at 5-1 second choice. This is a very, very talented horse. You could almost kind of say a little different running style, but almost like the brother version of the male version
Yes.
of the
Nitrogen.
Thank you, Nitrogen, who's threatened to do good things and come up a little short for myriad of reasons, but put it all together last week. And Dream On is this could be a name to score kind of spot.
This is a very speedy race. I wanted to show Soleil Volant's race. I'm glad you have this horse underneath because I can't wait to play this horse underneath too.
Yeah.
This is just the latter half of the race, and I wanted to show the gallop out because there is absolute intent here. Now, this horse finished second. They've gelded him since this second. Watch this gallop out and what Jorge Ruiz. Oh, sorry. There we go. Thanks, guys. Look, he's asking him to gallop out. This is a horse that last time, hey, you're not going to win. Make sure he gets something out of it. That's what Jorge Ruiz did there. Watch out.
Yeah, I don't think there's any chance he can beat Dream On, but you said it perfectly. There is so much speed in this race, and Dream On might swat it all, and Soleil Volant has a great chance to secure your exacta.
So that's what you're hoping for there. Could be a stake. This could be a stakes race in its own. Now, race 10, it's the Sunshine Classic, the feature mile and a 16th on the dirt track. It is a field of competitive and hard-hitting Florida breds. The 1, Power Humor's out. The 3, Lure Him In, is out, and the 8, Belts and Brooks, is out. Got the scratch bug a little bit, but the 7, Shaq Diesel for you.
Big Martini's out too, right?
Oh,
That's the 12th,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, 12, Big Martini. I did. Yep, there you go. Thank you.
It's a stretch. It's a reach.
It is,
I get it. I have no idea if Shaq Diesel can run 2 turns, but you've heard me say this time and time again. That is not a true 2-turn race at a mile and a 16th. We've got a short stretch finish line. We've got a horse that has tactical speed, sprinting.
Yep.
We've got a great finishing rider, Joel Rosario, who is now a Hall of Fame rider as well. It was good to see him the other day back here at Gulfstream Park. And we're going to show you Secret Chat in a second, but I just want a little bit of a price in here, and I think Shaq Diesel is it.
He's got the experience, that's for sure. Now, the 4, Secret Chat, we'll take a look at the replay here because he's going to try something new. He tried a mile and a 16th at Keeneland, but that was into Lexington. That's a tough race, tough trip. But here he is putting 2 wins in a row together. Do you think that the mile and a 16th is something he can handle?
Well, watch this race now, everyone. And did he win or did
They
the
lose,
others not win? And I like this horse. I've picked this horse both times. I'm willing to. He's absolutely, you have to use him. He's an A. But my last note was, as much him winning as the others losing. I was not overly impressed with that race. He is running against state breds today. I get it. That was a pretty okay group of optional claimers that day. I don't fully trust him. And with 4 scratches now, he might be sitting up there at 7 or 8-5.
Yeah, he could. And the 9, Lightning Tones, I mentioned, this was my long shot as far as a price goes now with so many scratches. I have no idea what price we'll get, but has the recency of a mile and a 16th lost out.
I was very surprised with how well he ran because he's always been a late running 1-turn sprinter miler. Yeah. And he tried it last time, and I had no idea what to make of him, and he did run pretty well.
He did, and he took a lot of dirt as well, and he was up against it. It was a heavy track that day, too. So just some food for thought with that. I don't think it's as easy as just going down with Secret Chat.
No, and this is a race where there could be a lot of aggression to get A, position into the first turn with a quick run, and B, position into the far turn with a quick run to the finish line.
Right.
So they could be popping pretty good in this spot.
Yeah, it is a first stretch finish line.
Yeah.
Speed can tend to carry. Now, race 11, the finale today. What a good one it is, as my partner alluded to. It's a $20,000 claimer, but don't let the price tag fool you because it's a great way to end the card. A mile and a 16th on the grass course. Rails are at 38 feet. Scratch the 1, Mutawid here. And the 11, Rough Draft. This looks like he's going to clear, I think.
He's supposed to.
Yeah.
We got a rider that wants to clear. I know that for sure. It's a Misiel. It's a Abreu who's getting going. It's Powder Pop who puts him in spots. I don't really know what kind of price he's going to be. He's done 2 turns before. This is kind of my old terrible post turns into a good post.
Yeah.
Because there's only one thing to go from out here, and that's to the front. And we'll just take a breath and see if they can last. And as everybody that watches us on a daily basis know, they can last on the turf.
They absolutely can. Nantasket Beach, this horse is a huge player here, coming out of a race where the second-place finisher came back to win. It was just a strong effort.
He is clearly the horse to beat. They're going to bet the Drexler horse. That's the 4. I get that.
Yeah.
The race absolutely goes through Nantasket Beach.
The number 4 here, Ali
Yeah.
Johnny, like you said, they're going to bet this horse for sure. And the number 9 looks pretty live too. Citizen K, you got a good rider for some speed. Maybe that will get up front.
This is the don't sleep on this horse to me. DeBona got one yesterday. It'll be sooner than later when he starts popping again.
Yeah.
And this horse has got 2 wins here, and he's dropping out of a pretty real race last time. Yeah, I would not leave him out if you're playing an expansive kind of ticket.
Yeah, that's 11 for you here today on this beautiful day at Gulfstream Park. We've got the lightning round we'll zip through and then send it upstairs to Pete. And we'll start it off with some morning activity. Pegasus is now just 2
From
weeks
today.
away
I'm
from
going to
today.
draw that card next Sunday on a big
Sunday,
deal.
yeah. But we'll look up. We'll take a look at Skippy Longstocking, who breezed on Friday morning, yesterday morning. Yesterday was Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is.
It was.
Skippy Longstocking here. This is Tyler Gaffleone aboard too. What a cool horse, and he looked good doing this.
Yeah, he is a cool horse. They've done such a good job spotting him around. He's been third. Was he third in the Breeders' Cup Mile a couple of years ago? $2 million, I think, in the bank, and yeah, this is pretty good. You can see him instantly quicken right there. He's one of those second-tier contenders in the Pegasus that if he wants to step up and run a big one, he's going to be right there at the wire.
He is. He's just got a local horse that loves it here. Now, Mystic Dan, Derby Dude, our 2024 Kentucky Derby winner. You were out this morning, out and bopping around, and here's the work. This is his first breeze across the track for Pegasus.
Yeah, with Robbie Alvarado aboard, and I caught up with Kenny McPeak, and we'll have that out a little bit later today. Kenny's just so great and candid, and just great to for the game, and you can see Robbie Alvarado. They're getting into Mystic Dan here because he was a total no-show in the Grade 1 Malibu at Santa Anita, but Kenny talked about that as well. You know, it's such a huge ask, 7 furlongs across the country, off the layoff, all that kind of stuff. But he'll be ready to go, and Kenny, was happy with the work, and we'll just see. He's going to have one more, but obviously what you just saw there was the big one.
Yeah, it was, and cool to see him here. He's grown up a lot, too, I feel like, from just last year to this year, which is good to see him develop. Now, the Tropical Turf Pick 3 does kick off in race number 5 today. So it's 5, 9, and 11. $3 minimum, 15% low takeout. And Brian, you are Pete the expert today.
So the Beat the Expert now this year, the last 3 races on the card. Get over to Silks or the website, check it out. If you can beat the quote-unquote expert, you can get some good prizes. So that's me today.
Yep, up to $500 in wagering credits now. Your best bet today.
Yep, 46, race 4, the 6 Vanderbilt, the first-timer for Brad Cox with a huge pedigree. That one's for me.
I like it. Mine's in 22 minutes with the number 2 Eton and your long shot.
I got to see it. What is my long shot? Oh, that's right. Candyland for Mike Lerman on the Tapeta in race number 2.
All right. And mine is Lightning Tones. I don't know about a price. I have no idea of what will. 6.
You still be a price. Yes. Scratches aren't helping, that's for sure, but you still be long shot qualified, I think.
Okay. Yep. Made it through that one. All right. That's 11. We'll send it upstairs. Pete Aiello will give you the scratches, the changes. Brian and I will be with you throughout the afternoon. Ron Nicoletti's upstairs with the Hall of Fame Jockeys and Jeans event. Go up and say hello if you feel like it.
Mike Welsh, I'm with the 2 maiden races today from DRF to Clocker, so he's going to help you out for race 4 and race 7 along with Samantha.
Yep, so a fun day ahead. Thank you all for joining us. We'll send it upstairs. Pete Aiello, he'll give you the scratches and the changes.